How do you know when your relationship is in trouble? This is a great question. This is a great question because it doesn't tell me so much about the relationship. It tells me about what's going on in your mind if you're asking this question. If you're asking this question, you gotta really think to yourself, is it about the relationship or is it about what I'm thinking? Yeah. If you're constantly thinking to yourself, is this relationship worth it? Is this relationship in trouble? It probably is. Yeah. It's the same on all these sort of sentences when people say to themselves, oh, my partner's okay. He's just got these few little issues, but he'll get past it. He'll keep improving. He'll keep improving. And you keep making excuses for the bad behavior. If you're constantly making excuses for your partner's bad behavior, that's a huge red flag. And there's so many things going, oh yeah, but next year it'll be better. Oh, we just earn a little bit of money, it'll be better. And all these excuses. Guys, girls, you gotta remember, you can either have excuses or results. You can't have both. If you have heaps of excuses, that's what's holding you back from achieving what you really want to achieve. Drop all the excuses because that's the exact reason why you don't have your results. Obviously, you want the results, drop the excuses and just go and get the results. Yeah. And then talk to people like me who can actually help you get there. So, how do you know if your relationship is in trouble? If you're asking yourself that question, it probably is. But on a more tangible way to think about it is, rate it out of 10. Rate it out of 10. Rate the relationship out of 10. Yeah? Ask yourself, what would I rate this relationship out of 10 right now? Right in this moment? What would I rate the relationship out of 10 over this last week on average? What would my partner rate it? Think about it. Yeah? Think about it all the time. And it's going to do this. How you rate your relationship is going to do this. One hour it's going to be a 10 out of 10. In the morning it might be a 10 out of 10 on a Saturday. And Saturday afternoon you might have had a little bit of a disagreement about lunch or something really that doesn't really matter, but it might have taken it down to a 9. And then you had sex at lunchtime, after lunch, and it brought it back up to a 10. It's going to do this. Yeah? Or it may go from 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, up and down, up and down. Everyone's different, and how people rate it on their perspective is different. I'm very harsh with my own relationship and I look at it very deeply all the time. So I rate it every day, constantly thinking about it. What's the rating? What's the rating? What's the rating? And while I constantly think like that, I can constantly keep it at a 10 or a 9. A 9 or a 10 all the time, and does this. And realistically, on average, it's a 10 out of 10, but I rate it every day. I ask myself, what is it today? What is it right now? I constantly ask myself the question. And if your partner's had a really bad day, and you've had a really bad day, so you both had bad days at work, your relationship's not gonna be a 10 out of 10. You might really love that person really deeply and like them really deeply, but you're in a bad mood because you had a bad day at work, so the relationship's gonna be a 9 out of 10. It's just like if you're a parent. Everyone thinks they're a really good parent. But if you've had a bad day at work and your back hurts and your hamstrings pulled and you just ate a burnt dinner and you're really tired and exhausted, you had a bad day at work because your boss is giving you a hard time, how good of a parent are you going to be? Not very good. You're not going to have patience, you're not going to have much love or time for your child because you're angry, you had a bad day. And that's totally okay. You're just a human being. You don't need to be perfect all the time. You're just human. So it's okay to go up and down. It's impossible to achieve that high thing all the time. But what we want to do is achieve that 10 out of 10 state on average. We're looking at the averages here. We want to achieve it on average. 10 out of 10 all the time would be a bit ridiculous. It'd be like going to Dream World or a theme park, Disneyland, every single day. It's a great place, but if you go every day, it's probably not going to seem so great after a while. Okay? We all like sex, but we don't have sex 20 times a day, every single day, unless it takes the magic away from it. Okay? So we're looking at averages here. Yeah, it's a really interesting way to think about it. So to answer that question, rate it every single day. Ask yourself the question every day. And if you can't remember to ask yourself the question, there's something I do. I leave a pack of cards I leave a deck of cards on the bench. Yeah? And on the top of the deck of cards, I put 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts, 4 of hearts, all the way up to 10 of hearts, right? There's obviously no 1 of hearts because that's an ace or whatever. But 2 all the way up to 10 of hearts, and then the card that's on the top, that's what I rate the relationship right now. Sometimes it's a 10 of hearts, sometimes it's a 9 of hearts, sometimes it's 8 of hearts. But I rate it and I put it on the deck all the time. So when I walk past, I can see, oh, it's a 10 out of 10 right now. It's a 10 out of 10 today, I can see it. Yeah? And that's how I remember it. And my partner sees it too. She walks past and goes, oh, it's a 9 out of 10 right now, cool. And sometimes I ask her, what would you rate it? And I put her rating on the top. We often have the same rating because we're very aligned. But it's a good way to remember it. It's a good way for your partner to see it. So try the trick. Put a deck of cards on your bench and rate it every day. And then it's going to give you a good average. What is it on average? Yeah? And you're going to want to, as a human being, we want to be the best we can be. So we want it to be a 10 out of 10. So you're going to work. So if you see it at an 8 out of 10, you go, oh, what can we do to get it to a 10 out of 10? You're going to want to get it to a 10 out of 10. And your partner's going to want to too. They'll go, oh, I see you rated it an 8 out of 10 today. What's the matter? You need to talk about something? Do you need to go on a date? Do you feel a bit neglected? What do you want to do? How do we get it to a 10? And you're both going to be trying to get it to a 10 constantly because people don't want to see a falling thing. It's like if you buy stocks or shares and you see them going down, you're like, what can I do to get them up? You want to see them going up and constantly increasing. That's what we want to do as human beings. So try the trick, it works great. And that's my answer to that question. So, any more questions, guys, hit me up, watch my other videos, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, go where the winners go, 110%.